Rise and shine, everybody. Share this video. It's early Sunday rise, and I'm about to give y'all some work, some jewels, some diamonds to add to your life, okay? Come on in the room, family. Share the content. I'm headed to my talk show this rise to do an interview, and so I'm dressed to impress, ready to get going. But I wanted to have a live on my way to the studio, and I want to talk about vetting. I want to talk about the number one mistake that men make when they're vetting for a wife. Okay, so of course the Joe Smith situation and many other situations where in our modern world we're seeing relationships end so abruptly, so horribly. We're seeing them deteriorate sometimes quicker than they could start. We see the children being affected. We see the family being affected. It's just bad. And so a lot of men are afraid of marriage. A lot of men are questioning even if marriage is even a viable option in today's world. But they want families. And what I want to do is tell the men, don't give up. Okay? Please share this content, guys. I want to tell the men, do not give up. It's all in your vetting. Okay? A treasure hunter, the extent of his experience is about as far as he can get to discovering a diamond. You got to understand this. If he's not a good treasure hunter, he can come across something that is of high clarity, and he won't even know it. Okay, and so a lot of times it's you as a man, it's us as a man. And don't get me wrong, this is not a live to kick men when they're down, so to speak. It's actually to enlighten men, to let them know a lot of your experience is actually because of you. Okay, so you got to understand. The brother said, "Man, it's ugly out here." You're absolutely right, Dom Dixie. So a lot of times it's in your indeficiencies as a treasure hunter. Whenever you're trying to find a treasure, so just think about this, guys. How many times have we dealt with a woman that we knew really wasn't worth our time as far as her character goes, but she was cute or she was something that we wanted to have around at the time, so we dealt with her anyway? How many times have we done this? How many times have we dated a girl knowing that we didn't really want to date her? We didn't see those qualities in her, but we gave her our time and energy anyway. How many times have we given this woman a child? How many times have we given this woman a wife, and then we're upset at who she is not or how she is performing during the relationship? But what did she really show you before you got into a relationship with her? So we blaming the women, but it's the women that you're choosing, kings. And that's what you got to understand. It's the same way women get out here and say all men are whack, when really it's the men that she is choosing, right? So ask yourself as a man, number one, what is a wife to you? So the number one problem when it comes to vetting for men is we don't first take an appraisal or an assessment of ourselves to know our value. So you got to first know your value, men, so you can know what you can afford. Okay? If you have just now reached a status of having money, say you just reached the status of 6 figures. Okay, that's great. But what you're going to think is that should be directly parallel to the type of woman that you meet now. And that's just not how it works, man. So let's just say you get yourself to making the $100,000 a year. Yeah, that's one of the things that women say that they like to have. A man who makes decent money, good money. 100,000 a year is great money. So you get to that point, and now women are coming at you out of the wazoo. Does that mean that that's the treasure that you're looking for, the mother that you're looking for in your wife? Right? Does that mean that? Or does that just mean that women are going to be all in your face? Right? So you got to decide which one is right for you. Right? So here's what you got to understand as a man. Remember this word, development. All right? You remember playing Madden? How on Madden it had like these looked like a star, but it was like this burst that showed a player's stats, right? So it wasn't just like speed 99, strength 88, agility, acceleration, 95, 78. It wasn't like that, right? Stats just in the number, but it's like a burst. It goes out kind of like my hand. And so one of them will show like elusiveness, strength, throw power, hit power. And you can see like the burst kind of come out, and it shows you all of this player's abilities, right? So you can see who you drafted. I know a lot of you men know what I'm talking about, right? I want you guys to think like that. Okay? So if you're making a draft here and you can see this woman's stats sort of like in a burst to you, right? Now, imagine you can see your own, because you got to be able to assess yourself first so you can know your value as a man. Just because you make $100K a year does not necessarily mean you should be looking for a wife yet if you are underdeveloped. Now, that could mean that your income is out there, right? 88, 90, 97 income, right? Okay, but what about your discipline, right? What about your experience in finding a good woman? What about your experience in conflict resolution? Okay, so what about your ability in understanding and listening and having patience? So just think about this, family. If you make a lot of money, but your understanding for women and how they move is low, you can end up with a woman who uses you and you wouldn't even know it, right? So you really want to be balanced overall, family. You can't just focus on one quality, if that makes sense to you. I'm hoping that you're catching what I'm putting out, right? So a lot of times when men dive into their craft and they're spending hours and hours and hours beating their craft, working 70, 80-hour weeks, playing sports where they're either training or playing ball. Even though these people might appeal to women, they're actually underdeveloped. They're not going to have the swag, the charisma, the confidence, a lot of those things, because they haven't actually spent a lot of time around women. They've been spending time, making their lives, of course, creating their lives, of course, but that's not being around women. So if a woman sees you and she says, okay, this man, he has the money, he drives the cars. Well, what happens is when she meets you, she can see your underdevelopment because she's dealt with many men, right? So if you're underdeveloped and you're willing to go in this thing, putting the cart before the horse, right? You finally met this woman, she's pretty, probably the prettiest woman you ever dated, and that's parallel to you making more money than you ever made, and you're not grasping this. You're thinking that you got more attractive when really it just means more women are attracted to what you have sustained and not you personally. If you didn't make that money, that woman likely wouldn't be talking to you, but you're not going to consider that, right? You're going to think that, okay, this is the prettiest woman I ever talked to. She's the one, simply based on her looks. And you're going to come spending. This is what makes you a simp, because you're living in your expectations of the woman and not in what you actually vetted from the woman. So you think that she's the one now because she's gorgeous, right? This woman sees you start giving before she's actually proven to you that she's the one. What she sees in that is a weak man. You must do this all the time for women. You must not really have a budget that you're watching. You're not really paying attention to your finances. She starts to see you as someone who's naive, easily duped. You understand? Does this make sense to you? Ladies, you'll understand it this way. Say you meet a guy who is the type of guy that you like to have in your life, right? He's wealthy, he's good looking, he has it all. Okay, you might start simping. You may start throwing things at this guy without him having to earn any of your time and affection, right? Know that when you do that, he's not going to say, oh, she's the one. He may take you up on your time and affection, but he's probably going to devalue you because of how quickly you gave it to him. Now, it might be the first and only time you ever did it with that guy, but that guy that got that experience with you, he has a right to his thoughts, and he's likely to think you've done that before. Does that make sense? That you've been giving it up before, that you move like that, that you a hoe, that you easy. Now, I know you probably like, I was just completely consumed by him. I was completely wowed by him. I saw no reason to hold back. I wanted him, and I wasn't trying to play no games. Okay, cool. But what you did is you failed to measure. You failed to do the research. You failed to vet. And women got to vet too. So what men got to say to themselves is, you got to take yourself out of this concept of, is she fine, make her wife material? No, sir. It's actually how she behaves. It's actually her culture. It's actually her traumas, what she's been through. It's actually based on what her parents has taught her, the friends she hangs around. You know how they say it takes a village, right? What we have to understand as men is there is no such thing as an individual. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna want to compete with that because you're feeling like, hey, I'm an individual. But what I'm saying is your thoughts are not all your own. The way you see the world is likely through how you were taught to see it, or through what you've been through, how you've been affected in this world. So a lot of us are a myriad of everybody we've rubbed up against, right? We are a little bit of like a smorgasbord, right? We taking bits and pieces from everything and different philosophies that we've been around, and here we go, right? But that's not an individual thinking, right? That is you being compromised, so to speak, right? The people that hurt you have shaped how you think. The people that have raised you shape how you think. The people you hang out with, they shape how you think with peer pressure. They push back on thoughts that are not of the majority. And so you end up with this type of majority opinion where you say things that other people might like instead of how you truly feel. We have no extent to the amount of ourselves that we have lost just in trying to go with the flow and be social, right? So you got to understand that, men, you are made up of a myriad of people that you came across as well. Your philosophies are sprinkled with other people's ideas too. So when you're looking at a woman, she cannot just be the physical beauty. So you know how they say stop and smell the roses, kings? Stop and smell the roses. Take it in. Right? Nothing feminine about smelling the roses, wanting to get to know the rose. So don't let anybody make you feel like smelling the roses is feminine. That phrase is a concept that says, take it in, experience it. Don't just look at the beauty of it, right? Actually take it in, experience it. Close your eyes, see what it smells like to you outside of anybody else's opinion, right? And then when you close your eyes and smell the roses, you actually get the full effect of the rose. So it's one just to see the rose. The rose's beauty is really until you start smelling the roses, you won't realize this, but you'll realize once you start smelling the roses, so to speak, that the rose's look or beauty has nothing to do with its smell. Some roses can be big and beautiful and dark red, and you're like, what? This is the most beautiful rose I ever saw. But when you smell it, doesn't have really a smell to it, right? Then some roses can, not be that presentable as you would say. But when you smell it, the scent will take your damn breath away, right? So you would know it's not all that's in the eye of the beholder. It's also in how the person carries themselves. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder, yes, sir. But beauty does not equal character. And the first thing a man should tell himself is that fact. The first thing a woman should tell herself is his money does not equal character. What does beauty and money likely mean? That they have abused it, right? That many people come up to them now because of their money or beauty, and so they're not going to value you coming up to them as much, right? A person with a bunch of money, he's going to be hard to please because he's had access to a lot of things. A woman who is beautiful is likewise hard to please because she's had many people, suitors, coming up to her trying to give her things. At this point in her life, she probably sees it as offensive that people keep coming up to her trying to give her things. She actually finds it offensive that no one tries to find any substance into her, right? So anyway, family, know that it's more to it than how she looks. Okay, what you're looking for is a wife. So let's say, number one, appraise yourself and know your value. Okay, and get balanced, kings. If you don't understand women, you got to date more. I don't care if you don't like how they talking. You got to spend time with them. You got to hear how they talking. You got to vet. Don't get your ego involved in the things that they saying. But you're vetting for a good wife, and you got to stay masculine. You got to keep on meeting women, bro. That's the only way. Okay? Don't get angry at women. That's very petty. It's very feminine. Don't get angry at women. That's crazy, right? Don't get angry. Get better, right? Get better at vetting. So there are wives out here. You just got to turn over rocks to find them. And that means you got to ask questions, family. It ain't just going to fall in your lap, right? So once you understand that you are a capable man, not only just do you make the money, but you also know your value. You ain't going to let nobody waste your time or get that money up out of you simply because they're pretty. This means you evolving, right? So as a man, you start to, okay, I think I'm ready for a wife. How else do I know I'm ready for a wife? I've thought about what my family will look like, because I'm not looking for a wife unless I've thought about what it would look like, right? That's like building a damn house and you haven't yet laid the blueprint. That's weird. Like you don't even know what you're looking for. You don't even know what type of land, what type of lot you're looking for, because you don't know what type of house you want. And you sitting here saying, I'm trying to build a house. What kind of house you looking for, right? Is it going to have a basement? Is it going to have an attic? Is it going to have several stories? Is it going to all be on one level? Garage, right? Like, what are you trying to build, man? Is it going to be one of those modulars, like put together homes? Is it going to be a tiny home? You're going to build a big mansion? What are you building? Because the tools that you need to build that with, the materials that you need to build that with, is going to change based on what you're building. So as a man, you're the leader of your life, King. If you're looking for a wife, first ask yourself, what is a wife to you? What is a wife to you based on the family you're trying to produce? So do you want a legacy or do you just want kids? Now, kids is just, they raise up, they move out when they're 18. As long as they're doing good, you don't have to worry about them, right? Whatever the case may be, when you die, you ain't leaving them shit. They're not going to take up and follow into your footsteps. They're not going to give a fuck about what you think about them. They're not going to contribute to your family. You're just going to foot the bill until they're old enough to move and then they on their own. You know what a kid is. Is that just what you want, some kids, or do you want a legacy? Because if you want a legacy and you want more than kids, you want a woman, a wife who can nurture, and a wife who understands what it takes to create that type of family and legacy. It can't be a selfish woman, man. You can't be a selfish man to manifest that either. So you got to ask yourself, am I materialistic before I even go out finding her? Because if you're materialistic, what are you likely to attract? If you're going to attract who you are, right? That you're likely to attract someone who finds your materialism to be attractive and also wants to get up in that whip because of the whip, who also wants the clothes because of the clothes, just like you. Right? So now you got this wife and both of y'all materialistic. So what's going to happen, family? Y'all going to spend all y'all money on things. You're going to have nothing left for them kids. Right? So let's say you meet her and she's superficial. Hey, you superficial. You want a woman with a banging ass body, a nice ass, small waist, nice supple breasts, get a wig split every other week, put somebody else's hair on it, get her nails done every single week, right? Put somebody else's damn fingernails on her hand just to be beautiful for you. You want that. And so in turn, what you're going to do is also be superficial. So she's going to like a good looking man who in shape, right? Who buy all the freshest clothes. He's superficial and they find their worth and value in how they look, right? Okay, cool. So now y'all superficial. Does that lead to the best positive outcome of a family? So basically what you're saying, King, what type of wife do I want? So what type of mother do I want my future self to have? Because number one, if you're trying to create a family and the purpose is to have children, these children will be your future self, right? So if you're raising children to be your future self, then that means you got to give them everything that you know now. All the good things rather. The bad things that you have found that are unproductive, you're not going to give that to your child, right? So you're going to have the type of mindset that is a curse breaker, right? A cycle breaker. If you're doing that, you got to pick your wife, pick the wife with the least amount of cycles, right? She got the least amount of traumas. So how would you start, Kings? If you're saying I got to pick a wife, one who has very little traumas, very little mileage on her in terms of bad and negative experience that cause her to see the world differently, cause her to make men an enemy versus being interconnected with them, right? And understanding the value of working together. Some men have messed her view up of the world so badly. So now you can't marry that woman because those are clouds now in her diamond. They don't go away, family, right? So how do you find out if she's the best possible woman for you once you determine what a wife is, what a mother is? Family, you meet her family, you meet her parents, man. You meet the family. This shows you what type of stock she came from, how her parents raised her, how the relationship is with their parents, and you can get a good look at the parents to see who they became in life. And I'm telling you, based on how they think, a lot of times their children will think the same way and just not know it. I've seen children hate their parents, but literally be their parents. They can't help it. They've been around this person their whole life. So yeah, they hate the person. They hate how they were treated. They have all these experiences that they deem as unsatisfactory with their parents, but they are their parents through and through. They act just like them. When they're angry, they act just like them. And so you find that they don't like how their parents treat them, but they actually embody everything their parents taught them because, you're going to speak the language that you talk, even if you hate the language, right? If you don't like your daddy going off on you, your mama going off on you for every little thing, you may not like it, but you may actually learn to go off and be angry over every little thing. But when you're angry over every little thing, it's justified because you're actually the one that's angry, and that's why you don't see that you're the same person that your parents are. You didn't realize when your father or mother got upset with you, they were actually upset. But what you thought is they didn't have a right to being upset. You wish they wouldn't do that, but they did get upset, right? So now you're recreating a cycle while you actually even hate the person who gave you the cycle. So a cycle breaker has taken accountability for the cycle that they have, that parents gave to them. They don't sit here and complain and say, well, my parents didn't leave me in the best position. They didn't raise me like that. You should understand why I am the way I am. They don't use those kind of excuses, man. They set out to change it, and they understand that the people who gave them that cycle is likely going to disagree. So they are the person who butt heads with their family because they check their family, or when they try to correct the cycle, their family always got some shit to say because they want to do better than the generation that came before them, and their family always got to say things like, "You think you better than us? Are you just ashamed of us?" No, I'm a cycle breaker. I know the things that y'all done to us when we were being raised were wrong, and I want to do differently. Why is that so bad? Why are you damn kicking me for doing that? Why are you angry at me for doing that? You don't think this way is better? You think your way was better? Ain't no way you can think that shit. Right? But a lot of times, those predecessors be so offended that you are telling them that they're wrong, and they're so angry and hurt that they were wrong to begin with, they can't take the responsibility. So who has to? You do. So you want a wife who's doing the same thing. As a man, you should be going against the negative things in your family as well, not so you can make your family look bad, but so you can correct them. You should be calling family meetings and saying, "Look, y'all, the way we raising these kids ain't healthy." When you see it, that's your family. Now, what you're going to learn is when you're doing those things, you don't really have much control over your family, your siblings, your parents. But what you do have control over is the family you create. And that's what I think the universe is trying to teach you. You can't control what situation you're born in, but you can control the situation that you create. And you do that with your decisions, family. Do you understand? So the number one rule is get around her family. Get around her family, meet them, have a conversation with her daddy, with her mother, see how they think, see why they think that way. What is their religion? What is their culture? What's their customs? Right? How long have they been together? How did they meet? How do they run their household? What type of environment was the wife you looking for born in? Because we're mostly going to be products of our environments, right? I'm hoping this makes sense to you, family. Okay, number two, the company that she keeps. So it's important to hang around her family, but it's also important to hang around her friends sometimes. I know as a man, a lot of times you don't want to hang around her and her girlfriends, but I encourage you fellas, do that. Hang around her girlfriends, see how they act. If they act ratchet, if they all over the place, flirting with every man they see, know that when your girl is with them, she do the same shit. Don't judge though. As a man, whenever you vetting a woman, don't ever judge. You need to pretend like whatever she says is okay, and you just to go with the flow type of person, because you don't want her to start choking up. You don't want her to, if she says something to you that you don't like, it's not your wife yet. You can always choose up until the day before you say I do, family. So what the number one problem with men when vetting, I already said not appraising yourself. So, but I'm just going to say number one quirk is men lacking patience, men lacking man frame. You get mad and angry and upset and in your emotions because she said she'd been with a certain amount of people, that she had a certain amount of one night stands, or she ain't the type of woman that want to follow her man, and she don't see any reason why she can't have a say so, or something that she might say inside about the household and how she sees relationships. I want to be a kept woman. I don't want to, a lot of these things to men can come off as like, you said, what? Why you think like that, right? We'd be so upset. But the truth of the matter is, man, just have patience, king. And women need to have it too. Man frame and woman frame. Master that if you're going to be out here dating people. Don't let a person make you mad because of how they see life and relationships. You date them so you can find out. So once you find out, don't argue with it, because she'll just try to change it, act like she didn't say that, try to switch it to something else, act like she meant something different. And that's how you end up marrying somebody who you're going to continuously have contention with, right? Because she changed up her answers, because every time she said something you didn't like, you bucked at her, right? You challenged it. And so now women don't really like confrontation. So what they really going to do is just change up what they said all together, or they're just going to start telling you what they think you want to hear. You're not going to find out who she is that way, king. So you need to be the type of person who just whatever she say, take it with a grain of salt, laugh about it, be like you've been there too, act like you completely understand where she's coming from. This will have her open up and tell you everything. You ever had a threesome, right? Say it with a smile, like you just want to know. You're not vetting, like I'm not going to, your answer is not predicated on me dealing with you or not. It shouldn't come off like that. Otherwise, she ain't going to want to answer it. Otherwise, she's going to be offended and shit like that, versus y'all just having a conversation, right? So have these conversations. When you're around the friends, act the same way. if they ratchet, if they talking about every dude that walk by, how they want to fuck him, or talking about different celebrities they want to fuck, if that's just the nature of their conversation, say to yourself, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It's no reason to get upset. You know this already, kings. You know that people are going to talk about what they be about. So what you mad for that you found out something that you needed to know? Yo, if you're looking through the diamond, if you find a cloud, don't get mad. Be glad that your research led you to finding something that you, like, let's just say you really want to buy a car, right? You really want to buy it. It's been on your damn mind. You went and looked at it, right? You saw it this weekend. It was on a Sunday. The damn place was closed. So you couldn't look at it, right? You couldn't drive it. But you done sat here and ran your hand across the top of it, looked inside the car, see that nice ass interior. You can see yourself driving this car. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna go buy that tomorrow. This happened to me before, by the way. Excited about this damn car. Get back to the lot. Hey man, I'm just excited to have the car, right? Let me test drive it. If you will approve of me getting the car, I've been working on my credit and shit, got a job now. If you will approve of me getting the car, I'll take the car. So I'm at the place based on my approval, not on what I approve of. And that's how a lot of men go to dates. You ain't used to having shit. You ain't used to getting no woman. You ain't used to it. So you go into it just looking to be accepted, just trying to get approved of. And that's how your approach is to getting with women, like mine was to getting that car. Hope they approve me. I just want to run my credit before I even look, because I don't even want to get my hopes up. Okay, you are approved. I want that one, right? I want that. Okay, it's going to be this much a month. It was way more than what I wanted to spend a month, but I like that car. It was out of my budget, but I really like that car, yo. It was a Mercedes, powder blue. Never forget that shit. You ask anybody around town, I was driving the hell out that car. It was a diesel, loud as hell. I'm freaking 20 years old driving a diesel. Big ass, big body Cadillac, Carolina blue, damn chrome bumpers on it. Man, that motherfucker was laid. Beautiful interior. I didn't know what a diesel was, family. I didn't know what a diesel was. I did not know that car would be so damn loud. None of that shit. You understand, family? I drove the car off the lot, ended up having engine problems. I didn't vet it. I didn't check for shit, yo. I thought it looked good on the outside. That shit even looked good on the side of the road. When it broke down on me, it looked good. The damn, what's up, Joffy the Great? I see you, King. When the tow truck pulled me off the damn car, I'm looking back at the damn car on the back of the tow truck. Shit still looked good up there. But it wasn't no damn good, family. I didn't vet. I like how it looked. And that was it. Thought it was everything, too. Man, if anybody know me from Forest City, they'll tell you Kevin was driving that Carolina blue Cadillac, diesel, chrome Carolina blue. Bro, listen, white wall tires. But I bought the car simply because of how it looked. When I saw the car, I said, what people gonna think when they see me in this bad boy, right? When they see me chilling in this, man, you know how the women, boy, that's what I was thinking. And a lot of us fellas, that's what we think when we see the girl, like, boy, my boy. Hey, bro, when they see me with a badass woman like that, asses for days, breast supple, skin on motherfucking milk, right? You sitting here thinking, man, shit, my boy's gonna say I'm the man, right? But you're not thinking about who the woman is, who she is, how she think, what she been through. So you a surface dweller. And that's what I keep saying, man. We surface dwellers. Yo, if she flies fuck, we'll put up with her for some time. And that's why I keep trying to tell women, right? Even if we find out you a cubic zirconia and you not a diamond, we'll still wear your ass until you turn green. We will. And we won't marry you, and you'll be mad. Thinking that, damn, why you didn't marry me? It's because you never got away with that damn attitude you had. You thought that because he stayed with you or because you got him with that attitude, that you had him, but you didn't. See, time is on his side, family. It's on his side. He can have kids for longer. So that man will waste your motherfucking time. I swear to God he will. And a lot of you women will feel like, yo, that's mean. Yo, I once watched a guy, man, he'd come home from work to his girlfriend who he paid to live. He already had the place. She moved in his apartment. She ain't had no bills. Now she living with him, so she got to stay home all day. He'd come home from work. He'd be like, yo, ain't no food. She'll say, I'm not your mama. I'm not your mama, right? So the video I saw, he was breaking up with her. And she mad, why you breaking up with me after all these years? He's like, I told you I wasn't marrying you. I already told you I wasn't marrying you. You talking about you not my mama. I come home, I'm at work, I buy the food, I bring it home, I pay the bills, And when I ask you if you cooked anything, you say you're not my mama, but you ate already. I come home and shit here, you done ordered, you done made you a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I ain't get nothing. Yo, I'm not marrying you, yo. It's gonna be nothing but problems. I know what I'm gonna come home to. A wife to do the same shit. A wife to tell me she ain't my mother. You understand? And so a man will say, yeah, I ain't putting up with this shit, but he will fuck around with you. He will do that, family. I don't know. A lot of times we really not seeing it. You know, how this happens or whatever. Man, I missed my exit. Man, these GPSs got to do better, man, than what they doing. But anyway, family, like I said, a lot of times we moving in just trying to get approved of. You know, you just want that woman. We ain't never had a woman look at us like that. We never had that type of woman, a woman with an ass like that. All this translates to you going over and above to trying to appeal yourself to some woman that you don't even fucking know. You don't even know this damn girl, bruh. And you sitting here throwing yourself at her. You don't even know this damn girl, bruh. Character matter, man. And I don't know who else think like this, but if you a man and you say character matters, that means you shouldn't be just trying to holler at any old girl that you meet, right? I'm just saying. I already said defining what a wife means to you. As a man considering a life partner, you got to take a moment to ask yourself, right? What is a wife to me, right? Think about the roles, the duties that you expect from your wife, right? As it relates to your future children and the family life. Does this make sense, family? I'm hoping that makes sense. Because you're looking for a treasure, man. That's the most important decision you will ever make. Because that's going to be your child's mother. That's going to be the person that you have to work with for the foreseeable future. Your child will embody half of her biologically. So you already know it's shit you can't change once you make a baby with her. Because the child will be half of her and everybody that she ever came from. You understand? And because her mindset is connected to everybody she ever came from, your child going to get some of that too. And ladies, you got to think the same way. This is somebody you're not going to be able to really get out your life, ever. Even if they out your life, you're still looking at them and you're represented in your child. You know, that DNA, man, is powerful. So you got to understand that's the most important decision that you will ever make. But we be moving like it ain't that big of a damn deal. I swear to God, then we end up in these horrible situations where our kids is fucked up now because of the woman that we chose at that time. We wasn't really choosing. We was just fucking. But it still becomes a decision that you made that ultimately affects your child's life. So what we'll say is, well, hey, I was young and dumb, or I wasn't thinking at the time. You know, I was on something else at the time. And yet that's your child's mother, and that's going to be your child's grandmother. That's going to be your legacy. That's a part of your tribe now, family. And yeah, you was immature whenever you went vetting, but that's why it's important that before you marry that woman, Kings, this is a book I'm currently working on. Before you go and marry that woman, you better make sure that you're a capable man. You better make sure that you have earned a good wife, because the universe is not going to give you a good wife if you haven't manifested yourself to be a good husband, a good provider, a good leader for your family, a good guider, right? A person who sets a great ass example, even when the chips are on the table, even when he's going through it. If you ain't made yourself that type of person, why would God, whoever you believe in, the universe, give you a good person? You not a good person. So you saying because I make 100 bands a year, I deserve a good wife. Boy, your 100 bands a year can't even scratch the surface of a good wife. Do you understand what she is worth? And it ain't money, family. She's worth every bit of effort and focus that you have. She's worth your commitment, your loyalty, your attention, your time, everything, family. It ain't about money. Money is what you need to take care of a family. It shouldn't be what you need to make a woman happy. So a woman of value ain't concerned about that type of shit, bro. But she will be concerned about your commitments to her, how you treat her, right? How you listen to her. Like, because she's of value. She wants a real relationship. She wants a king. She wants a husband and a father for her kids too. You want that type of woman, but you ain't that type of man. Yo, it ain't going to work like that. So as a man, if you're looking for a wife, your first move should be become a fucking man. Like seriously, yo, become a man, become a king. Become the man that deserves that type of woman. That's what it's about, family. Or the universe gonna give you some fuck shit. I swear to God. Because what happens as men is we overlook all the areas that we underdeveloped in. And so what we do is we get a woman that's actually, hey, that's what we can afford. That's how much time, work, and energy we put into ourselves. And now we sitting here mad at what we getting. Man, you better do the work. Man frame is the moment you see something from this woman that you know will be counterproductive in y'all's future, you don't argue with her about it. That's weak. You don't know this woman. You don't have to. That argument that you about to have with her about something she just said is not going to change her mindset. It'll only change what she said at that moment. She'll only pull back off of it, act like she didn't say it, but she still think like that, and that shit gonna come back to haunt you. So if you ask her, be like, okay, how do you feel you should dress while in a relationship? Do you believe how you dress and act when you're single should be parallel to how you dress in a relationship? If she say, yeah, I'm a grown woman, I'm grown, right? I'm gonna dress how I want to dress. If you met me that way, if you say, man, that's messed up, bro, because if you're in a relationship and the man feel a certain way, you're supposed to be able to adjust yourself because you got to work with him. If she go, well, yeah, I didn't mean it like that. Like, no, I would. Man, don't listen to that shit. She lying, bro. She already told you how she feel. And she's absolutely right. She is an adult. She grown as hell. So here you are trying to tell an adult how to dress. Yo, you know you about to get an argument out of her. Instead, find a woman who does not value dressing that way. It's really simple. She likes dressing that way. She likes showing her ass. It makes her feel beautiful. Okay, don't judge her. That's what she wants, right? So as a man, just say, I don't want that for my child's mother because I can see how my child would want to embody that and think it's okay to dress that way. And I don't want that for my child. I don't want her being promiscuous early. I don't want men pursuing her early for sexual endeavors, encounters and things like that. I'd rather her stay young as long as possible. So I'd rather have a wife who also believes in modesty because she can, that would convert over to my child. But if I get a wife who does not believe in modesty, she say, well, people gonna come up to me regardless of how I'm dressed, so I should just dress in whatever makes me feel beautiful. Bruh, don't argue with her. Take a good look at it and say, so that makes you feel beautiful? If dressed half naked makes her feel beautiful, why are you trying to tell her that she's unacceptable? Like, that's belittling. That's literally belittling, yo. You don't even gotta be with that woman. Go find you a woman that works for you. And ladies, you do the same thing. If the man tell you, yo, I like to stick and move on, believe in being faithful, I want what I want, why are you sitting here trying to argue with him and change him? That's not the husband. That's not the man that you want for your children. He's not going to embody good character for your children, family. So you guys better be listening and acting accordingly and have patience. Patience is key. Patience is key to having man frame, to having an understanding attitude without lashing out. And patience is key to not settling. Don't use your loneliness, men or women, to settle. Don't say, well, you know what? I ain't had a girlfriend in a long time. You know, I ain't had a connection in a long time. I'm going to go ahead and hop in this relationship because, you know, I've been lonely. Man, no. You better be patient. You better be patient because, you know, like I said, a relationship is the most important decision that you can make. And then all in all, get you somebody that understands commitment, man. Before I end this video, somebody said that I'm against women's hypergamy. I've never been against a hypergamy for a woman. I understand hypergamy for a woman. She has to date a man with discipline and wealth, resources, because she's gonna have children. It's imperative for her to find a man who understands that he is a utilitarian, that he must make money at all times, and there's no excuse. She must meet a man like that. So I don't have a problem with hypergamy. However, I do have a problem with cheating. And so if you leaving your man because you found a richer man who would commit, then I don't like that. That's the equivalent to a man leaving you for a younger woman who's willing to commit, a more beautiful woman who's willing to commit, right? You wouldn't like that. So a man is going to try to find the most beautiful woman, down-to-earth woman he can find. Once he finds her, though, he's supposed to commit and be with her, because the woman should know it's going to be other beautiful, sweet women out here who won't want this man. Are you saying, okay, well, I'll be with you, and when somebody prettier that treats you better comes along, it's okay for you to leave me for her? No, that's corny. Love the one you with, have children with the one you with, build a lifestyle with the one you with, love the ones you with. If you marry more than one woman, love the women that you with. Why are you still out here trying to find other women and leaving them? Like it makes no sense. So yeah, I don't agree with hypergamy to the point to where she met a richer guy and now she want to leave the man she got. Yo, that's weird as hell. Love the one that you with and commit to it full time, yo. You never know who that person is that you chose. Have some faith, yo. Have some good faith. You chose this person. Do you not believe in the person that you chose? Like, if we all get to choose the ground that we plant our gardens in, why am I leaving the ground that I tilled already to go take over somebody else's ground? If I really trusted my judgment on this ground that I saw, then the value has yet to be shown. So I'm going to pour my effort and pour my fertilizer into the ground that I cultivated, into the ground that I chose. Yo, I swear to God, women, if you did this, you see a man you don't see a man that's greater than your man. You see a man that's further along than your man. He's at a different spot in life than your man. So you looking at a tree and you saying, okay, all the fruit will ripen. And I just want that one that's more ripened, because that tells me that the one that I was looking at before that one ain't gonna ripen at all. Wrong assessment to make. You see a man that got more money than your man, he got a little bit more than your man. Okay, so what? Maybe you need to cultivate your ground. Maybe you need to fertilize your ground more, speak more life into your man so he can grow to be as big and strong and as successful as that man. You don't leave your man for that one. That's fucking crazy. Let's say you got a wife, right? She ain't so high on herself, right? Her confidence is a little bit low. She don't feel so beautiful. Maybe she ain't. Maybe she don't work out like she used to. Maybe she got a little pudge. Maybe she's not the 10 that you met. Maybe she doesn't look like she met when you met her, right? So let's say you met a woman right now. She's on her thing. She's on her grind right now. She's been working out hard for the last 2 or 3 years, ain't taking a day off. So her body represents that. It shows a woman who focused right now. You say to yourself, oh, she must be a better version of my wife. So you leave for her. Shouldn't you have taken the time and said, you know what? Let me pour into my wife. My wife used to look like that. Let me pour into my wife. My wife could look like that. My wife could embody that. I can go to the gym with my wife. Let me talk to her. Let me love in her. Let me put some love into her. Let me convince her that she's every bit as beautiful as I believe she is. So she don't feel that lack of confidence, right? So my wife can glow like that woman glowing. Right? Go pour back into yours, family. Why you chucking out your damn plant and then going and getting somebody else's? No, I don't believe in hypergamy to that degree. That's fucking ridiculous, because it's somebody who committed to you, and now you saying I'm leaving you for somebody else. Like, fuck the children that we already had. Forget what we've been building together. Forget the time spent. Forget it all. Forget how you feel. Forget about all of that. I found somebody better than you. Why would I think that's cool? Yo, be patient. Don't get in a relationship with the guy if it's like that. Yes, I have 2 wives, guys. That's an ad hominem. You shouldn't be saying, like, is this the guy who has 2 wives? Should I listen to him? Absolutely. I got 2 wives. That means I understand conflict resolution. I understand listening. I understand what it means to work with a woman. Certainly, I have 2. So obviously, I know what it's like to work with one woman, right? So guys, somebody can get in front of you with a wealth of knowledge, and you'll discredit him based on the wealth of knowledge that he has. Yo, that's unreal. That's unreal. How can you take from it and say, okay, since he has his doctorate, now let me say this is why I shouldn't listen to him. Yeah, you done went and got that pharmaceutical information. You know nothing about true medicinal things in the body, because you went and got brainwashed. He knows something. Don't his credentials advocate for him in some way, or you think that they should be the thing that discredits him? I mean, come on. What are you going to learn if you continue to live your life like that? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, family, men, always vet. Stay tuned for the book when it drops, okay? How to vet for a wife in this modern world before you go and marry that woman, okay? Trust me, guys, it's going to be a great book. Also, check for my book, Dating in This Modern World. It's crazy, y'all. I've been dropping it. What's up, Jordan? I appreciate you, King. That's what's up. Keep advocating for me, bro. I appreciate that. But listen, guys, I'll see y'all soon. I'm getting ready for a big interview. Stay tuned. Trust me, stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. I love y'all. Peace.